party just for me. 해치와 여기저기 닿은 적도 없이 더 날카로운 발톱으로 난 심장을 뜯어.
Hey everybody, Sean Morth with Truth, Lies, and Political Bullshit. I know my buddy Timmy's going to be jumping in any minute here. There he is. Timmy, good to see you.
Hey, how are you? It's been a long summer. A lot of people have been asking, hey, when are you going to get these podcasts going again? So here we are.
Here we are, back to Truth, Lies, and Political Bullshit. This is our second season. We were supposed to start about 3 weeks ago, but hey, like everything else, there's hiccups on these small podcasts, and we are back, and we are better than ever, and we got a lot to talk about, Timmy. So let's just jump right back in and
Right.
inform our viewers who like to watch our show because they get the truth here, right? They get the truth, they hear the lies, and they get the political bullshit. They can make up their own mind about everything. But
And
hey,
of
I'm
course,
going to jump right into something I think is really important to the city. People have been waiting for a long time, and that is the announcement of the Cohoes Community Center, the revamping of the Cohoes Community Center, now owned by Albany County because of the smart move by Danny McCoy, who recognizes the value of this building and what it meant to this city. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I was shocked of what I seen and what I heard at the press conference. Let me see, Timmy, do we have that video? Let me see if
For
we
almost
do.
a decade.
You're looking at the newly named Gil Ethier Albany County Athletic and Community Center. It's named after the deputy majority leader of the Albany County Legislature. This building was funded and revitalized from a pool of $3 million. Some of that money being used to keep this community center running. Let's take a look inside. From physical activities to studying with tutors, those are just some of the plans Albany County has for the center. It's set to be a safe place to keep kids off the streets and engaged. Some more possibilities include bringing in the trades for job training.
Not only will a kid come in here and have a chance just to be a kid, but opportunities will be there knocking on their door, with the different programs and facilities that we're going to be running.
It's a very unique city, and it's people orientated, and they work together as a group, and we're very family oriented. It's been a bedroom community for years.
So congratulations to Gil Ethier. I mean, I am really, I was really happy for Gil. I think it's really cool, man. And so congratulations, Gil. If you're watching a show, I know you're a closet watcher. We send a lot of love to you, a lot of respect to you and your family. And I think it's well deserved after all the years that you spent advocating for this community. So we really, really, really do appreciate it.
yeah, he's been in the county for, 48 years there as a legislator representing Cohoes as well.
He's
So,
been
yeah.
there for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the son of a gun. He
He's
looks
the
like,
longest running, longest running, I think, in the country.
yeah, well,
Well, and for a county legislator in the country.
well, all I know is this. I know that he's been there a long time. He's one of the few people that I truly believe
Yeah.
used the seat to make his community better. And, hats off. Congratulations to Gil.
Yeah,
and to
he's
his
what,
family.
85 years old, and he doesn't look it. So good
Well,
for
he
him.
looks like he did when he was 20. And I want to ask him when I see him, did he bottle up that youth?
Yeah.
Because
What's he drinking? We want
he's-
some.
Yeah, he certainly should share that with the rest of us in the community as well. The Gil Ethier magic potion. But Gil, congratulations to you, Cookie, and the kids and everybody else. It's a beautiful tribute to your many years of service, and hopefully that building will stand for another 100 years, and everybody will get to know that you were part of making it something special for the community.
Mhm.
Also in Cohoes, Timmy, let's just jump into the city announced its budget. So we're going to talk a little bit about the budget. Once again, smoke and mirrors and full of shit. Budget that tells everybody that the city's flush with money, but we know, certainly we know, Timmy, that they're just stealing money out of the savings account to pay for the bills because they don't have enough money to pay for their bills. And one day Billy Keeler is going to put us into a Troy, New York way. And what is a Troy, New York way? That's when we're so broke that Troy couldn't pay its bills, and the state controller had to come and oversee the city and help it get out of its own way. And I think Cohoes is heading in that direction. And so
I
we'll
agree.
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. And I know Danny McCoy. I spoke to him last week. Hopefully, he's going to come on the show. He said he would make time for us just to talk about the Gil Ethier Athletic Center. Talk to Sheriff Apple, because if you've been paying attention in the Capital Region, you see that the jail has been under attack. And I think you'll find it very interesting to know who's attacking them and for what reasons. And so the sheriff is going to come on and discuss the jail. I like to say it's the podcast Behind the Walls of Albany County Correction Facility. And we have all crazy shit going on in the world today, right?
Yeah.
I was watching the news this morning, and they were showing like this CNN and MSNBC, these real liberal, we talked about the evil empire of media. And they're talking about the destruction of the White House because Donald Trump is knocking down the West Wing and he's destroying the White House. Now, I don't know, Tim. Maybe I don't understand, but this is my point. First of all, the West Wing is not the White House, right? The West Wing, the White House is the White House. And this was the West Wing that was added in, many years ago. I think it was Roosevelt that added it, right? Really, just for his wife. It was because they wanted to give the first lady some office space, so they did all these big renovations, and then you have Obama. I mean, he did some renovation so he could play basketball.
Yeah,
and then you had Bill Clinton turned it into a brothel, and
and one of these guys put in a bowling alley.
Yes, so it's been going on since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
But I've never heard in my whole life, except for when Obama was renovating it, there was this big news follow-up on the renovation and how great it was and how he was turning the White House into the 21st century. But Donald Trump, well, he's the evil empire. Oh, my God. Donald Trump is destroying the White House. And they always come up with these catchy phrases. It's not your house. It's our house. Give me a fucking break. Who cares?
It's a people's house.
Yes.
They're putting in a $300 million ballroom, okay, at no cost to the taxpayers, not a dime. Okay. They're still squawking about that.
Yeah, they're going to squawk about anything this man does. So you got the White House that it's still standing with nobody scratching it or doing anything to it. The West Wing that's off of the White House is being demolished, and a $300 million project is going in. And if that was Obama or Clinton or any one of those people, they would be doing
any Democrat.
Yes, they would be jumping up and down saying how important it is and how beautiful it is and why it's needed. But it's Donald Trump. And just like everything else with Donald Trump, it's a major, major issue. Now, I don't give a shit if you're a Donald Trump fan. I don't care if you're a Joe Biden fan. You know what I care about when we do this show? I care that we have the facts and that people can share their points of view without being attacked because they like one side or the other. I go on Facebook and I got some mental issues. I'm always on there battling with people. I should just put the thing down and go live my life and take a deep breath and go sit by the ocean. But instead I get in arguments with people, not because I'm a fan of Trump, but I can't stand the double standards in this country. The double standards is what bothers me, right? I can do 100 things that all the Democrats have done. And if Trump's done it, those same Democrats on Facebook are trying to rip you apart and rip him apart. And it's so sad to see the anger of people. And I really never thought I seen the face of hatred, right? I wasn't alive back in the days when the world was really evil and there was so much hate that we would murder, masses of people and stuff that I've only seen in the history books. But I'm starting to feel like I'm living in those times, Timmy. Do you feel that?
Everything's upside down. Okay, man. Look what just broke here the other day. Okay, I enjoy watching sports, right? And now it turns out the NBA games have been rigged. Okay,
well, I've been telling that to everybody who bet football and basketball. I was one of those fools.
Upside down world, and who would think that they would be able to corrupt? Okay, betting and everything, okay, in the NBA. Not to get off topic, but I mean, look at what Pete Rose went through for betting, on baseball. Okay, now you got the NBA guys doing this stuff. Okay, it's just insanity. So,
Yeah, I think the
but I
world's
just
just
wanted to
upside
touch
down.
on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's
upside
it's
down.
important to jump on that because these are all the things that I don't know if the world is different or if there's
Hmm.
just so many channels to feed you all of the bullshit that's going on, but it
Yeah,
does make me feel uneasy and
yeah,
uncomfortable. And I start wondering about the world as a whole. And then I start trying to say to myself, is that really what the world's always been? Or am I starting to just become brainwashed because I watch all of this stuff? And then I realized how easily people are brainwashed. I'm looking at
yeah,
the race in New York City, a socialist, a
yeah.
communist, a guy who
Communist. Yeah,
hangs out with the people who supported 9/11 and knocking down the World Trade Center and killing 4,000 plus people. And this guy is taking pictures with them and he's talking about all this shit. And all these young kids think it's
and he wants to
great.
close. Right, he wants to close Rikers Island.
This guy
Okay,
doesn't want to just close Rikers Island. He doesn't believe in having prisons. He believes in
right.
free grocery stores, free buses. He believes
Yeah,
in all that nonsense, the socialist worlds that have failed in every, at one time, Venezuela was one of the richest places in the world. Now they
yes, it
live out
was.
of garbage cans. That's
Hmm.
socialism. The
Yeah,
government, you should never, ever want, as a human being, to have the government controlling your life.
yeah.
Isn't that what America stands for? That we have a republic that we elect, but we are the bosses? It doesn't
Well,
seem that way,
government
does
gets
it?
yeah, government gets way too big. Okay, you mentioned before. Okay, look at our own county legislature. Okay, it's got what 39 members.
39 members. I was the chair of
Right.
that legislature, and I used to say to myself, this is like herding cats because they come
Yeah.
from all walks of life, which I think it's important that everybody comes from all walks of life when you're in a body
Hmm.
representing people. But you can tell the difference from the people living in Delmar that they care about like a walking trail that has beautiful flowers on it
Hmm.
and 10 million on a walking trail. And the people that come to Albany that are screaming because they need, food. And
Yeah.
and you mix that group together and you know what you get? You get a shit pie. Nothing comes out
Yeah.
correctly. Everything is screwed up. And you're fighting and battling. And I start saying to myself, what is the Albany County Legislature's role? It's the social safety network. It took care of the single mothers. It took care of the frail and old people that had no place to go when they were in their dying years. Like they wanted to close down the nursing homes. Uh,
Yeah.
it was supposed to take care of people who were addicted to drugs and alcohol. It was the social safety network that turned into the legislature that votes on how big of a freaking soda you can drink or whether you
Yeah.
can eat donuts.
Hmm.
And then they talk about we did this and we did that. You don't do shit. I hate to say it. I worked with a lot of those people. There's
Yeah.
some people that are like amoebas that have like one cell in their brain. And I go, how the hell do you get elected? And then I realized how local elections are really formed. And they're formed not by electing the best and the brightest people. They are formed by who can make themselves the most popular. And then we vote on
Yeah.
people based on popularity. And, it's probably the only thing in the world that you would elect somebody to do something to oversee your life based on popularity. I
Yeah.
mean,
And they spend more time going around doing photo ops and stuff like that, ribbon cuttings and all that shit.
people used to say, how come you don't go to the ribbon cuttings? I said, well, because I had nothing to do with that store opening. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You see all these politicians at all these ribbon cuttings, and I go, you had nothing to do with that. Why are you here?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
used to go
See it
after
all
they
the time.
opened. Yes, I'd go after they opened and say, look, I had no business standing in front of your store cutting your ribbon. You did all the work. But I'm here today to
Yeah.
welcome you, congratulate you, maybe buy something if it's something of interest to me. But I wasn't at your ribbon cutting because I have no value being there. It was like parades. They used to say, how come you go to the back of the parade? I go, well, why should I be in the front of the parade? This is a
Hmm.
veterans parade. Shouldn't the veterans be in the front of the parade? Why should the
Yeah.
politicians be in the front of the parade? So I
Lead,
would
lead the
march.
parade. Yeah.
Yes, I would never march with all of them because I didn't belong there. I didn't belong in that spot. I was just
Hmm.
somebody that they elected to represent. I was a worker. I worked for the people. And so I would stand
Yeah.
with the people. And the legislature in Albany County it's just bloated. I would say if you had 9 people, you'd have a decent legislature that could handle the stuff that they're, charged with handling. Outside of that, I think it's just like herding cats and nothing of value gets done. Tell me the last time anything of value got done. And now, Timmy, they're represented by the left of the left. all the left
Mhm.
lunatics, right? So
Yeah.
one person screams the jail is not safe for its inmates, and you got all these crazy Bill Rickard type people going down there and saying, we got to do this to the jail. We got to, we need a new jail. They need to
Okay.
have better
Uh,
living conditions.
these inmates, they get tablets now. They have access to email. They even get pizzas delivered on certain weeknights.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. This is,
Okay.
we've taken the criminal justice system and turned it upside down. Why do you think there's so much hate and anger and violence right here in the capital region?
Yeah.
Go to Albany. They trout this mayor of Albany like, she's something special. She has ruined Albany to the highest level. She's really
Mhm.
been nothing but a complete failure. She's the one
Pain,
that
right?
wanted to have the Tulip Queen a boy because she believes in
Yeah.
that whole, I told people the other day,
DEI stuff. Yeah.
I told people the other day in this debate we were having on Facebook, I
Well,
said to them, I said, here's the reality.
city.
And the mayor of Albany wanted the Tulip Queen to be a boy. This is the crazy stuff. So I was telling people the other day, Timmy, you're not voting for individuals. When you vote for the Democrat candidate, you're voting for the party platform. And that party of today is nothing like the party that you and I were voting for, but yet we vote for the party. And the platform of the party is men and girls sports. The Tulip Queen can be a boy, right?
Hmm.
Women in college can lose their scholarships to a man because he's competing in the same sport as she is. The raise the age, we've talked about that, and the crime levels and the overloads in family court. And it just seems like, excuse me, seems like these politicians are hell bent on destroying the country, Tim.
Sure is. Okay. And, as an example in the jail, okay, you've got the corrections officers. They've been there as long as, 20 years. Okay. 20 years. And these guys are pulling 16-hour shifts. Okay. Back to back to back. And it's just happening so much that they don't have a quality of life. It doesn't look like they're hiring anybody to fill slots when people retire. All these things going on. So yeah, it's all caused by raise the age.
Well, it's raised the age bill reform, but for Albany County, it's the craziness of this 39 bloated legislature that's so left to the left that they don't believe you should have a prison.
Yeah.
They believe girls and boys are the same. That
Hmm.
there's not a difference between a pair of nuts and not a pair of nuts. I mean, they're just completely insane. And so you got a sheriff up there in Albany County that I have great respect for. I thought he's always
Yeah.
stood up on the podium and said, "Hey, this is what I believe in. This is what I stand for." But he still has to go to that legislature for money. So if
Yeah.
he
That's
wants to
true.
hire people and he can't hire them, it's because of them,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's
And so
absolutely
so
true.
they go home at night making $30,000 a year, full health care for the rest of their life after like 12 years. Okay. They got the
Hmm.
best benefits. They get the highest pay. They don't do shit. They don't work, 10 hours a month. They have one meeting, and if you're on a committee, you go to an hour committee meeting, but they're making $30,000 and they don't give a shit if the correction facility has people working 16-hour back to back to back. They don't care. You know what
Yeah.
they care about? They care about, oh, the inmate said that he didn't have a soft pillow. Well, hang on a second. Let's bring in the my pillows for everybody so they can have a
Yeah.
softer pillow, right? Let's make sure the
Yeah.
guy who's in that facility for raping somebody or killing somebody is more comfortable than the guard who hasn't seen his kids and missed their birthday because he's on
Right.
32 straight hours.
And make sure they have pizza night every Thursday or something like that. Yeah.
That's the Albany County Legislature. So if you've never
Hmm.
seen them, go down and see one of their dog and pony shows. You'll be quite amused by the value of those people. You'll realize that it's a legislature that doesn't need to exist, and I know because I was there, and I could have stayed there for 20 more years, and I got out because it was a dog and pony show. But anyway, Timmy, so a lot of other things going on, and like I said, our next podcast, we're going to try to have some guests on and talk about some stuff. I just want to jump on today to say hello to everybody, let them know that we haven't faded away, that we were just trying to get our ducks all lined up and get our program back in good shape and get you back in good health. And that's kind of where we are today. And we're looking to have a full show with opportunity to people to join us and talk about, again, we're going to talk about the city budget, right? We're going to talk about the jail,
Yep.
get some updates on the community center, and, whatever else pops up that we need to talk about. About all
Right.
those things, we just want to jump on today, say hello, and
Okay.
tell you we're back, and we look forward to having all of our supporters back on the show. And until then, look for our first real in-depth show next week. We are going to tape our shows now and put the link up on Facebook that will take you to a host of different places, whether you want to see the video or just listen to it by audio. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen on Spotify, Apple. We have really gone all out to put it on every platform so you can hear us and watch the show. And so, and we will have one Wednesday night live every month, and we'll have that posted on our pages so that you know in advance when the shows will be. But please listen to the show, upload the links, enjoy the show at your convenience. I think a lot more people can watch it because you can watch it whenever you feel like it rather than the live show. And Timmy, I look forward to seeing you next week. I think you look good. I'm glad you're back in good health, and God bless everybody.
Yep. Okay,
Talk soon,
See
buddy.
you next week.
See you
Take
next
care.
week.